One thing that I learned in my life when I was an anxious attacher is that I had no problem getting dates. I mastered the getting to know people and meeting new people stage, but I really struggled to get people in actual relationships. This is something that I see really often with clients of mine, and the biggest complaint that they have is that they often feel used. And there's a reason for that, right? There's a reason for them to feel used, and there's a reason why they show up so great in the beginning of the relationship. So in today's video, we're going to talk about why the anxious attacher are great in the beginning, but have a hard time getting that commitment. Thank you for sticking around. If this is your first time viewing me, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. We talk about everything attachment style related here on this channel. But before I get into the content, if you want my help personally, the quickest way to get into contact with me is through my website at www.fruitfulseeds.com. If you're struggling in your relationship, if you're struggling to get back with this person that you know you can do better with, reach out to me and let's book a session, either one-on-one or email coaching. Thank you. In today's video, we're going to talk about why anxious attachers really struggle to get that relationship, even though they showed up really well in that dating and getting to know each other phase. And I'm going to break it down into two different stages here. The first three is going to be the actual dating and getting to know each other stage. When you're building up a rapport, you're building a connection, you go on dates, and then when you want to pop the question is like, all right, what are we? What are we doing? That's when they don't give you that clear answer, they're ambiguous, or they say, hey, I'm just not interested. You're better off as a friend. So I'm gonna give you three reasons why that usually happens. Why people are really enamored by us in the first place. The first three is we're very attentive and we pay a lot of attention to details when we're with that person. You know, we inquire about their life. We're very intrigued about who they are, what makes them tick, their life experiences, and the things that generally make them them. We're very attentive in that way. I think a lot of it is because we require that ourselves. Our love language is communication, is words of affirmation, getting to know each other. That makes us feel close. That makes the anxious attacher feel connected. Which leads me to the second reason is we go all out on our dates. You know, and I say this to a lot of the guys that I coach. If they're anxious attachers in particular, try to keep the first date as something simple. Maybe a coffee date, maybe just, you know, kind of like an initiation into if you even like the person. If you don't know that, you know, you're an anxious attacher, you may go all out on the very first date. Like you may book the dinner, book the carriage ride, you may get the flowers. The anxious attacher tend to go all out on those dates, and it's not a very good look. You know the saying. You know, you come off as a nice guy or someone who's very attentive, but when you're getting to know someone, it feels like it's all unwarranted. It's almost like you're bribing them to be in a relationship with you. And you know what? I understand because I'm someone that used to do it. But when you go all out on those dates like that, it's really saying something about, you know, the people pleasing that you may potentially have within yourself. So you want to be careful about that. And number three, the anxious attacher early on makes their intentions very obvious. They state it. They talk about what they're looking for. They talk about, you know, the type of relationship that they want, the kids, the marriage, the whole 9 yards. And that feels safe for a person. That feels like, all right, I know exactly where this person stands. This makes that person feel comfortable, makes them feel secure. But it also starts to make them take you for granted, because in the dating world, I know it's real gamey. People want to catch, right? This is why sometimes when the avoidant person, I did a video about that the other day, the way that they show up in the beginning of the relationship feels like a catch. It feels like something hard to get. It feels like you're going after the NBA championship and you got to go through this gauntlet just to get it. But when someone gives you this certainty, this commitment right away, and it's too early and it's unwarranted, it makes you not look like a catch anymore, which segues into the honeymoon and that commitment stage. So the first reason why that happens in that stage is because the anxious attacher moves the relationship too fast. It feels unhealthy. It feels very overwhelming and unsafe for whoever is in that relationship. And what I mean by moving it too fast is they start booking out girlfriend and boyfriend activities when you're just starting to get to know that person. And if you're trying to get to that honeymoon stage where they're like, okay, I think I really like this person, and, you know, we're aligning, which I feel should move at a healthy pace. For me, I think you get to that honeymoon stage around 2 to 4 months where you just start to like really understand who that person is. Depends on how much you date. I personally believe that you only should date once a week for the first 2 months. So that's 8 dates in total. And by that time, you should be able to know if this person is aligned with you. You should already have talked enough to know, what your values are, if it all aligns with each other. But this also hurts the anxious attacher, because if they haven't done work to heal themselves, number 2 starts to creep up, which is they start to pick up on your lack of self-worth, and your insecurity starts to creep out a little bit. If you guys were having a conversation about, they'll pick up on if you're feeling a little uncomfortable, if you're feeling threatened by that ex, they'll start to pick up on that. So this is another reason why they start to, raise maybe the yellow flag, not even the red flag. It's like, all right, I don't know if this is the relationship for me. This isn't the ideal dynamic I'd like to be in. Number 3, it's just something I've done a lot, and I look back and I reflect on those dates and I cringe. I'm like, man, I really wasn't healed. I was really triggered into my anxiousness, which is I over-disclose information too early. On those dates, I talk way too much about my exes, about my traumas, about the things that I went through in my life. And that's very unattractive. It really is. I've been on dates with anxious attachers, and you know what I started to see a lot? I started to see that they were very self-deprecating, either talking bad about the person that they used to be with, or they were just really beating themselves up, talking themselves down just so they can look bigger in my image. Which I'm like, you don't have to do that. In conclusion, if this is something that you struggle with, if you have a hard time getting people to commit, this is probably what's going on. And I'm gonna tell you what you need to do. You need to double down on your personal development, all right? You need to either reach out to a therapist, reach out to a coach to help you see things a little bit differently and through a different lens, because that's usually what the issue is. Having someone to hold you accountable, someone that can be a sounding board or someone you can bounce ideas off of, is crucial, because they can help you decipher between what's actually real fears or what's something that's like, all right, this may be your anxiety just hijacking you and your nervous system might be out of whack right now. So how I've done it and how I've had people that I've worked with in the past do it is I'll have them study. I'll have them journaling and I'll have them meditating, because I want them to sit with those thoughts. I want them to let the thoughts run around. Like, let them do what they're going to do, but don't connect with them. Just let them do what they're going to do. It's healthy. So when you're journaling and you can see what those thoughts are, you can easily decipher between, all right, this never came to pass. This was just fantasy. And all right, this was a yellow flag or a red flag that I should have really took seriously. So if you found this video of any value, please like, comment, and share. You can reach out to me on my other social media accounts. Instagram is I am Coach Court. TikTok is I.am.CoachCourt. And here on YouTube, it's just Coach Court. Thank you guys. And I want you to always remember, when you go be loved, you'll never have to find it. Namaste.